Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright guys, today the content is a little different than content on previous videos. This one is analyzing what is happening in the American populace in the background. It's kind of hard to get a read on what's going on sometimes in our population because you've got the media muddying the waters, politicians making things up, and we know there's a little bit of manipulation on the messaging that's going out, right? However, you can always look at spending habits of Americans and see where their minds are, where they're concerned at, and that's what we're looking at today. There's some incredible undercurrents that are happening in the United States that are really positive for the conservative side of things because, honestly, the amount of damage that's being inflicted on the left financially from the consequences of some of their actions recently is massive, and we're going to talk about that in general. But the main point here is I want to highlight how important every single action you make, whether it's an economic decision, a spending decision, or a gun purchasing decision, or a calling your congressman decision, every little bit matters. And don't forget that, because we are powerful and we are united, and we have a very good reason to do so. Before I get too deep into it, we have that program coming out. It's going to be at June 1st. This product, in my personal opinion, is going to change the entire gun world, the way the entire thing functions, because we are on the cutting edge of the gun world here at Langley Outdoors Academy. So, the thing that you can do today, it's in the description box below. It's right below the actual article notes. It's a free newsletter. Sign up so I can make sure you guys get it first, because this is going to be something that I think is going to be huge. So, enough of that. Let's dive into the content, okay? So the content today, we're going to talk about a few different things. First of all, gun manufacturers. Now this is very interesting. There's a gun side of this argument, which is obviously very much aligned to this channel. Guns in America is the actual article. Nearly 40 million guns were purchased legally in 2020 and another 4.1 million bought in January. Those numbers are new records across the board. What does that mean? That means that Democrats are starting to buy firearms. We've talked about that a lot on this channel. In fact, of that 40 million, 40% were either minority or female, both independent minority groups in the gun world that tend to vote Democratic are getting into the gun world because of this situation that we find ourselves in the United States. And that is a huge positive for us. That is people taking their own safety into their own hands and purchasing the gun, utilizing the Second Amendment, which is amazing. If you are a minority or you are a female or you are any kind of American, welcome. If this is your first gun, get in here. Guys who are always here, leave some love in the comments for these people, because this is huge. You're embracing your Second Amendment right, and if you've never done it before, it's incredible, and welcome to the party. I don't care who you are, what you look like. You're here, I'm happy to have you. Now, this is the part where you get a little bit deeper. The rise is part of a trend referring to gun sales. Gun sales in the United States rose 40% last year to 39,695,315. The figure also represents the high watermark in gun sales since the current record-keeping system went into effect. Increases by state in January varied substantially, as has been the case for years. Now that's on the consumer side, but now let's talk about the manufacturer side, because this is pretty cool too. Gunmaker relocating headquarters to Middle Tennessee, investing $7.2 million from Massachusetts. It's Troy Industries. A firearms manufacturing company is moving its headquarters to Middle Tennessee and investing more than $7 million in the area. Troy Industries Incorporated, which makes small arms components and accessories, will relocate its manufacturing operation to Clarksville. Government Bill Lee says the project will invest $7.2 million and create 75 jobs over the next 5 years. It took 75 jobs from Massachusetts. It's now in Tennessee. $7 million that could have been in Massachusetts is now in Tennessee. Everything is aligning because people are following where they believe, and that's a big deal, and it won't be long until the big manufacturers do it too. Now we're going to get into the little more the corporate side of losses, because the corporations are encountering massive losses because they're getting involved in areas which they probably should not be involved politically, okay? It's one thing to have corporate culture and stances. It's another thing to inject your opinion as part of the public dialogue, because now you're a political force, not offering a product, which you can get in trouble for. Perfect example. Disney revenues dropped by over $600 million in the second quarter. Disney stepped in it pretty hard when they got rid of Gina Carano. I don't care your opinion, I'm not saying one way or the other. However, they made a political decision on one of the characters of a show called The Mandalorian. It was a really good show. They got rid of someone. I personally made a decision not to watch it again. You need to fix that mistake or you're not going to get me again. It's really that simple. You can't expect to make political decisions and not have political consequences. $600 million were a consequence of last quarter. 600 million. Could you imagine having that conversation? Boss, we lost $600 million. Why? COVID? Nah, Florida was already open. We were on the incline. Oh, what could it have been? It might have been the thing with the situation. Interesting. It's that simple. Every action that we take, every action you take has a profound impact. And don't forget that. Now, the Walt Disney Company recently released their second quarter earnings for fiscal year 2021, and they revealed their revenue dropped by over $600 million compared to the first quarter. Now keep in mind, the first quarter, Florida was already open. DeSantis opened Florida. First quarter and then the second quarter. And there was a massive decline, which happens to coincide with canceling one of the main characters based on political decisions and speech. Interesting. And the final one, CocaCola. CocaCola pauses aggressive diversity plan after chief lawyer resigns. Pause comes after Coke's former general counsel Bradley Gayton abruptly resigned last month. He abruptly resigned. Wonder what could have happened. Oh, I know, because Coke came out and made some very political statements about the state in which they reside, and they did some very bad things on an HR perspective of being less white. They got some backlash on that, and now look at them, they're backpedaling. The pause comes after the orchestrator of the plan, Coke's former general counsel, Bradley Gayton, abruptly resigned last month after less than a year on the job and as criticism of the quotas mounted. Quotas is one of the decisions they made politically. The point here, guys, this entire video is we've got a job to do in 2022, and damn it, we're going to do it. It's going to be amazing. You and I are going to make some work. But in the meantime, you can let your opinion be heard. You can be impactful in amazing ways. I don't drink Coke anymore. I grew up drinking Coke. It is like water to me. I don't drink it anymore. That's a personal decision that I've made. It's bad for me, and now it's politically bad for me. That's pretty simple. Delta? I got other airlines I can choose. Disney? I haven't watched a single episode of Mandalorian, so good luck gauging if it's a good show or not, because I'm not watching it. I grew up on Star Wars. It's very simple. If you're going to go down this road and you're going to isolate people, then I'm going to isolate you. Very simple. You're not getting my dollars or my patronage. It's easy. There's more of us than there are of them, guys. And the sooner that we realize that we unify in a positive direction like we've been doing on this channel for 6 months, the amazing impacts are going to be felt. In 2022, whoo, it's going to be glorious. And I look forward to doing it with you guys. But until tomorrow, let me know what you guys think in the comments field below. I'm Braden. See you later.